Brought to you by the Gary Community Schools Corporation.
All right, everybody, we're back. It is, I'm on my game today. 29 minutes after the hour. It is the 26th of July, 2023. And this is Wake Up GI with Jeffrey Smith. As promised, we have a wonderful guest in the studio today. He's going to be talking about this event that's going to be taking place in little less than a couple of weeks. That is Friday, August 11, 2023, over at Indiana Wesleyan University, located at 8415 Georgia Street in beautiful Maryville, Indiana. It's a business networking mixer. And, of course, that is an opportunity for Northwest Indiana black business owners. They're going to gather and share their entrepreneurial experiences. And once again, as we said, that's going to take place on Friday. It's a Share Your Vision conference. That's exactly what it's called. But I'll let the guy behind it do the talking and less of me. And, of course, we're talking to Mr. Tony Stidman, who is in studio sitting with us today on Wake Up GI. Good morning, my friend. Thank you for showing up.
Yes, good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, first, I guess, before we start to talk about this this conference that's going to take place on Friday, August 11th, actually it's 2 days I see on this flyer. Give us a little bit of background on you. I like to know who, in fact, the guys are that I'm talking to. You're obviously from the city of Gary. I feel this little cougar tension in you right now. I mean, a panther can spot a cougar. It's just how it goes. It's in my DNA. But tell me a little bit about you. You were born here. Give us your background.
Yes, I was born here in Gary. I went to Tolleson Middle School. I went to Gary West Side High School. Grew up on the west side of Gary. And actually, the name of the company, the consulting company, is based off the neighborhoods I grew up in.
Yeah.
I spent the majority of my life in Ivanhoe.
Oh, okay, I get it.
And then I grew up in Concord. So Ivanhoe.
Yeah.
So that's where the name comes from.
Wow. So
that way it can be easy for me to trademark. No one has that background.
Yeah, I mean, honest with you, at least maybe there is somebody out there, but I think this is pretty cool. Yeah. In particular, being that both of those housing developments have kind of been torn down, and there's only obviously people like yourself, and I had some family who grew up in Ivanhoe, where you have those memories of just growing up in that community, and so you're keeping the dream alive. We appreciate that. So after, of course, you graduated from Westside, you go out, and where do you go? What do you do after that?
I moved on to went to Vincennes University.
Okay, I had a cousin that went down to Vincennes.
Yeah. So kind of changed my life. New experiences, being away from home for the first time.
Right.
For that long period of time.
Yeah.
And
what did you major in?
It was carpentry.
Okay.
So those days it was it's kind of like a trade school at that time.
Right.
It's kind of changed now, but yeah.
Yeah. So you ended up doing, like we called it, building construction and things like that, the building sciences. And so, did you get into that? I mean, after leaving Vincennes, did you get into the construction industry, or what did you do?
Well, that was my plan, because actually I came here for 2 years in high school.
Okay.
Carpentry also.
Okay.
That would led me to go to Vincennes.
Right.
So once I got to the field and realized this is not for me.
Right. What was it that you didn't like? Come and share that with us.
I have a good friend who had a position for us in Chicago.
Right.
Working, doing roofing and things
like
that.
So
my first year I finished the carpentry program at Vincennes.
Right.
He had opportunities for us to go to Chicago and make some money in the summer.
Right. And number one, that roofing material is very hot. Yes. It's the summer, and I can tell you, for me, this is a Jeff thing. I don't like heights, so the whole ingredient soup is not for me.
Yeah, so all that, the height. So it was like.
So you made a business decision to kind of go somewhere else. So what happened after that?
After that, I was left Vincennes. I decided to transfer to IUN.
Okay.
And pursue different various jobs throughout the year.
Right.
Trying to figure out what I want to do as a young man.
Yeah. And what did you end up settling in?
What I ended up doing?
What did you end up doing?
I always wanted to be in the real estate field.
Okay.
So I just didn't know. I didn't want to do no roofing.
Yeah.
So I needed to find something with air conditioning. So,
right. Yeah.
I decided, someone convinced me to take real estate courses.
Okay.
So I took got my real estate license. I don't know if you remember Moke Realty.
I do.
It was on 61st.
Yes.
So I was with them for a few years.
Right.
Actually, right around the crash time.
Okay.
So
around the housing bubble when it popped.
Yeah.
Was that 2008?
2000. Well, you can start to see 2006.
Yeah.
You can see something happen. You're not sure what it was.
Right. It manifested itself like around right in between 2007, 2008, correct? Yeah.
So once I started to see the housing market starting to shift a little bit, I said, let me get a part-time position. So I took a part-time position working at a Verizon.
Okay.
And I was there for 14 years.
Wow.
And then from there, I When COVID hit, I decided to go back into real estate. So I
See?
researched, and 'cause I always wanted to be in real estate.
Right.
So
No, see, there's a theme here. For the past couple of years, the guests that have sat in the seat that you sit in, there's always been something very consistent with you all. And I say you all, all of us, a lot of us, is that when COVID, the pandemic happened, and once again, we always like to say this as a disclaimer, pandemic bad. But, however, having said that, there's a silver lining to it that a lot of people utilized. I don't think we tell enough of those stories, and that is the world stopped. You were forced to take a break, whatever industry you're working in, and look across the kitchen table if you had a spouse or a partner, and start to evaluate what you wanted to do going forward. And so you did it. You probably looked back at real estate and said, you know what, I like that. I kind of want to get back into it. And you start to pursue that. But I met so many other people that started their life's passion of starting a business or going in, taking that hobby and making it a business and things like that. So you're as consistent with that theme as anybody else who's ever sat in that chair. Yeah. So you go out here, and of course you get back into real estate. And are you in business now?
Yes. So what I do now is I help families that went through a foreclosure.
Right.
So that's the business I started. Well, I was already working at Verizon and doing real estate
on the side.
But once COVID hit, it gave me what COVID did. They allowed people to reevaluate their situation.
Right.
We say all the time that we spend more time doing other things.
Right.
Since the world shut down.
Yeah.
We have an opportunity. Okay, let me focus on what I want to do. This is my time to really evaluate my situation, what I want to do.
Now, quickly before we get into this event of yours, because you kind of hit something, and I think it's very unique in real estate that you specialize in helping people with foreclosure. I just want to ask what that looks like, because it sounds very interesting. Because unfortunately, when you have these kind of fluctuating interest rates, and a lot of people have not gone out here and had that fixed rate or refinanced and things like that, these little bumps in the economy can throw you off. I mean, you get what I mean? Your mortgage one day, you'll just be like, what happened? It just went up $300 or something like that. And it can throw an entire household budget out of whack. So obviously, the worst case scenario sometimes is foreclosure. So where do you come in, and how do you help your clients?
So this is another thing people don't realize. When you have a foreclosure, when your property goes to an auction, if it's called overbid. Mm-hmm. So, for example, the bank only wants the money that's owed to them.
Right, that's all.
Plus the whatever kind of fees attached to that. So when it goes to auction, if it sells over that amount, if there's anything left over, it goes back to the homeowner. Right. So that's why I come in there. I locate the homeowner and help them recover the money that belongs to them.
Now, do you also help direct them, having a real estate license and being in the industry per se, to find, foreclosure is usually an unplanned, where you have to get out of your house. So do you kind of follow up with not only helping them retain or get some funds back into the kitty, but do you kind of help direct them in directions where they can possibly find a home that they can afford?
Yes. So once they recover their money, then that's the next plan.
Right.
To help them before they go to foreclosure.
Right.
Give them some options. If we can't help them beforehand, then the next option will be to help them afterwards.
Yeah. Now, do they get hit by their credit? Does their credit take a hit? I would assume when you're
when you actually go through a foreclosure, yes.
So you try to help them like at the very beginning when it's kind of on set.
Yes.
I got you. All right, let's get to this wonderful event. Once again, this is the Ivan Cord Consulting. Of course, as you heard him say, that's a play on the words where he grew up, Ivanhoe and Concord over in beautiful Gary, Indiana. They're presenting the Share Your Vision Conference Friday, August 11th. That's in like 2 weeks, correct?
Yes.
Over at Indiana Wesleyan University. It's going to be from 1 to 9 p.m. Wow, that's a pretty long event. That's about 8 hours or so. I think it's the math. I don't do math before 10:30 on the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, most conferences are 8 hours.
Yeah.
So we just decided to make it later just in case you had to work. So you still have the opportunity to come.
Oh, absolutely.
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Still catch some of the conference.
Now, let's talk about this. So, obviously, as I said, there's a 2-day event I'm looking at. I mean, you got something going on Friday. That's what we were talking about.
Yes.
But you also have something happening on Saturday. So let's start with the overview. What do you want to accomplish here? What is the true purpose of why you got involved in it, or why you started it?
Well, I attended a lot of different conferences in Chicago, Atlanta, D.C.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was just thinking, like, why we don't have that kind of, conferences in this area.
Right.
And for black business owners.
Right. Is there, I'm looking at the different topics that you're going to have, but is there a certain type of business that you're looking to attract, or is this just a general kind of open air admission?
It's covers all types of businesses.
Right.
I don't want to have it strictly for real estate or strictly for nursing or anything like that. So if you, whatever kind of business that you have, there's something for you.
Yeah.
Because everyone needs the formation, get their LLC or S Corp or C Corp.
Yeah.
Everyone needs social media marketing for their business, to promote their business. Everyone should have a trademark to protect their business from other people that create the same name in other states.
Right.
So everyone needs funding.
Right.
So unless you you grew up in Gary, I don't know if you're a millionaire or not, but you're gonna need funding. so everyone, so it's gonna be something for everyone. We got a small portion of real estate where you can buy a property.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be able to buy properties at this conference?
Well, you can learn about buying a property for yourself.
Okay.
Yes, and we're working on someone coming in where they can teach you where they can loan you money, where you can do flips and rental properties.
Oh, okay.
So
we're talking with Mr. Tony Stidman of Ivancourt Consulting, and he is having a Share Your Conference Vision on Friday, August 11th, 1 to 9 p.m. at Indiana Wesleyan University, 8415 Georgia Street. And so kind of give us the logistics of how this is going to operate. I've been to a number of conferences in the past, and some conferences have these working groups where you kind of sit in a general area, and then they kind of break you off into different groups depending on your interests or your needs, and then you kind of work from there with a nice little cohort. You break for lunch or what have you, depending on how long you're staying there, and then a little bit more of that working group sections with the opportunities to move into other areas than you were in before lunch. How is yours going to look?
So we're going to have 3 rooms.
Yeah.
So one room is going to be strictly for workshops, sessions. So we're going to have some kind of speaker, either attorney or expert in their field.
Right.
So like, for example, we're going to have an attorney that's going to speak about business formation.
Okay.
So how to start a business if you on that section of your business.
Right.
And then we're going to have another room speaking about, say, grant writing.
Right.
So then we're going to, the third room is going to be where the food is going to be. We can do a little bit of networking. Just shaking some hands and letting people know, basically sharing your vision. That's why it's called Share Your Vision.
Okay.
So share your vision of what kind of company that you have or the company that you want to grow.
So it's going to be kind of interactive. The participants will have an opportunity not only to network with each other, but to possibly make some small presentations.
Yes, so what's going to happen is, depending on the timing, we're going to allow a business owner to stand up and say, my name is...
Okay.
And my business is I'm located at this address or online, support my business, or if you need that service, come talk to me while I'm here. Here's my business card.
Yeah. Now give us an example. I see on this card that you gave me about some of the topics, but I'll let you kind of go out here and elaborate on some of the topics that you're going to be discussing and why you believe this is going to be important to this conference.
Well, business formation, like I said, that's a great way to protect yourself, separate yourself from your business and your personal life and your assets.
Right. LLC or S corporation. Right.
Yes. So that's going to be one topic. Trademark also, it helps protect your name. So you don't want anyone. That's why I created a whole unique name. Because,
it's uniquely yours. If you see this floating around after this show, you know exactly somebody's coming after you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the why you want to have that trademark attorney to speak about why it's important to trademark your logo, trademark your name, trademark your likeness and everything else. Now,
before you get into, I'll ask you a couple questions. One of these, well, actually 2 of these topics you're going to discuss kind of stand out to me for, I guess, obvious reasons. The first one, of course, is business credit. Okay. Because I think a lot of times when people, in particular at the beginning, I'm sure you appreciate this as well, is when you're starting your business, very few of us, unfortunately, and I won't get into my politics and who's to blame, but unfortunately, very few of us get the pleasure of walking into a bank branch and coming out there with adequate funding to go out here and really start the business the way we envision. Whether we've done things the right way or maybe we had a little life hit us during the process, we just can't go out here and secure those loans. So business credit is a very interesting topic because I also know of people who have gone into business, and I remember even being in college and some of my friends or some people that I've known who have kind of mentored and taught me things used to always come and say, never use your own money. Always use it. And that's easier said than done for a lot of people. But if you don't have business credit, you can't go out here and operate like that. So I'm very interested in that topic. What are some of the reasons you really wanted to focus on that? For the very same thing we're talking about?
Yes. Like I said, not everyone has the money to start a business or they don't have the information. That's why I want to put the information out there. The goal is to have at least 3 different ways at the conference where you can receive money for your business. So one way is business credit. Another way is grants. Yeah. Grant writing.
Now that's where I was going to get to the next one, because grant writing is a totally different thing. My wife is I like to just give credit where credit is due. She's a master at grant writing, and she kind of operates off that. But the one thing about it is there are a lot of stipulations, and usually this is assigned for nonprofit organizations versus for-profit businesses. So are there going to be those kind of conversations where you're going to have people from the nonprofit sector kind of come out there and make some presentations to some of these conference attendees?
So the grant writing person, they're going to speak about nonprofit and profit.
Okay.
So.
Oh, there are grant opportunities. Are there really a lot of grant opportunities for-profit businesses out there?
I'm not the expert, but I believe there are.
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit more research, but there are opportunities out there.
And now let's get to this next category. The last two I'm kind of interested in as well. I really like that this category is in here, because I think if you're looking at this at a holistic approach, you do have to have your mental health and wellness aspect about it, because it's a grind, it's discipline, it's putting in hours, it's doing research, but you have to have your head right to be able to be prepared for the obstacles and things that come across. Is that why you wanted to really get into health and wellness? And what's that going to look like?
So he's going to talk about, so a lot of times being an entrepreneur is kind of a lonely life. Sometimes your family don't support you like they should.
Right.
Like you believe they should.
Right.
Your spouse, wife or girlfriend don't support you.
Yeah, well, if your spouse doesn't, that's going to be very difficult.
So, but sometimes they don't necessarily believe.
Yeah, they don't see what you see at times. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
So, they only see it when the money comes in.
Right.
And then everyone believes.
Oh, well, like I said, there's another conference I'll sponsor, and it's going to be a divorce attorney there. Yeah. And so let's get to, obviously, the final one. And that is the Small Business Association, the SBA. Will there be representatives from that organization there? Because the SBA is very elusive. Sometimes they show up, sometimes they just hand you pamphlets. I've been at some of these conferences before.
Yes, she is scheduled to be there. We communicated with her, I think, 2 days ago.
Yeah.
2 days ago, she's going to be there.
Okay.
Yes, so she's going to speak for, the average time is roughly 45 minutes.
Yeah. Good for you.
15 minutes, they're going to answer questions, Q&A.
Yeah.
So the room, and how we're going to set it up for that section is, we're going to go by the crowd.
Right.
So whoever comes and have any additional questions, we don't want to just talk just to have a conversation.
Right.
We want to have an open forum for that section.
We're talking with Mr. Tony Stidman. He is the CEO of Ivancourt Consulting. He's having a Share Your Vision conference Friday, August 11th, 2023, 1 to 9 p.m. over at Indiana Wesleyan University. That's 8415 Georgia Street, beautiful Maryville, Indiana. Let's get to logistics, the cost involved for people who want to attend.
Yes.
Give us the levels.
So the ticket price currently now is $100.
Okay.
And $100 covers the conference all day. You can go in and out.
Yeah.
You need to go home to pick up your children, anything like that.
You can get back in.
Yes. Also includes the food.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do food gonna be served at 5. We're gonna have food throughout the whole time.
Right.
It's like little snacks throughout the day.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a catering come in, and I think serve at 5 p.m.
Oh.
So we're gonna do raffle giveaways.
Right.
You walk in, you get a ticket. So we're going to support other Black business owners.
Right.
So I think so far we have a masseuse going to raffle off like a massage. so stuff like that we're going to raffle off.
Right. And so let's talk about, you just talked about vendors. Are there still, I know you're up against it, and you seem like a good planner, and most people who are in business are very good planners, and so I'm pretty sure you wrapped it up. But are there vending opportunities still for people who want to be a part of this?
Yes. We do have vending tables left.
Yeah.
The price is $35
mm-hmm.
to be a vendor.
And what does that entail? Just being able to kind of...
a table and 2 chairs.
Okay. No, I don't hate you. No, and you can stay the whole day, no prescribed time.
Yes.
All right, okay. So...
preferably no, like I said, because we're on a college campus.
Right.
So no alcohol.
Right.
Vendor, things like that. Yeah.
Okay, and so as I said, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we've been talking with Mr. Tony Stidman of Ivancourt Consulting. Of course, as I said, this is the Share Your Vision Conference, Friday, August 11th, 1 to 9, Indiana Wesleyan University, 8415 Georgia Street in beautiful Maryville, Indiana. How can they get the tickets?
They can go to Eventbrite
mm-hmm.
and then type in Share Your Vision Conference.
Yeah.
Or just Conference in Maryville, and it should pop up. They can register there. Yeah, or they can, that's the best way to buy the tickets. That's the only way to buy the tickets.
Okay. Yeah. There you go. Before you get out of here, as we were talking earlier, we got a little of your background. You're a Gary native, West Side graduate. What are your thoughts about West Side now? Are you a sports fan? First of all, you heard me doing my little thing.
Am I a sports fan?
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with the football or any of the sports on the West Side.
Okay, yeah. Well, the football team, man, they had a great year last year. But I mean, have you been paying attention to what's been going on with your old high school, or you just been kind of focused on you?
I've just been focused on the business.
Yeah.
A little bit with the football team. I got a friend. He's one of the coaches at Gary.
Oh, really? Really? What's his
Anthony
name?
Jones.
Okay.
Anthony Jones.
Yeah. So you're kind of there. You are. Yeah. And so I'm sure you've been. I'm sure he's been raving about the season they had last year and the facilities and the potential to really make. They made some noise last year. So I kind of wanted to see what you felt about that. Being an alumnus and kind of seeing the thing bounce back the way it has. It's hard for me to say this, being that, my whole situation is pretty much over at Roosevelt. But, I am very happy for the program and the city and the young men who kind of made it happen. So we appreciate that. Give us a little logistics before you go about your business. Obviously, we've been talking about this, but what about you? How can people reach you? And we always ask people to plug themselves, because if you don't talk about yourself, it's hard for others to kind of do. So plug your business. Tell us a little bit about how you can be reached.
As far as my business, it's called Crown Investment Group.
Right.
I can be reached at info@crowninvestmentgroup.org.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, we help families that go through a foreclosure.
Yeah. And you have a physical location. You have a phone number.
I don't have a physical location, but the number is 219-263-0030.
Well, all right, man. Tony Stidman, we appreciate you, man. Oh, go ahead, please.
I had another thing I wanted to mention about the conference also.
Yeah.
So the Saturday is going to be just a mixer.
Right.
But our initial plan is to have an award show.
Okay.
So if it's successful this year, we want to have an award show. So I believe that you survived COVID, you survived the housing crisis.
Right.
You've been in business 10, 15, 20 years. You deserve an award.
You deserve an award, absolutely.
So that's what we would like to do in the future. We couldn't get it together this year because of the timing, because of the location, everything booked up for weddings and baby showers and things.
Now that's going to be a Spotlight Lounge.
This year's a Spotlight Lounge.
Okay.
We couldn't find a location for an award show.
Right.
But eventually, we want to have an award show on either Friday or Saturday, then have a conference the following day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole plan. Like I said, when I travel in other places, they have something that's kind of similar.
Now, is this Saturday gathering? Is there going to be a cost involved with this, or do you just kind of show up to the Spotlight Lounge?
So when you register, it covers both days.
Oh, okay. See?
Yes.
Yeah. So the $100 covers both days.
Covers both days. We're gonna have light food on Saturday because it's gonna be a smaller crowd.
Right.
But we're definitely gonna have food on Friday also because it's a long day. Snacks.
Yeah.
Gonna be
now, what's going on Saturday though?
Saturday.
Spotlight Lounge.
Saturdays, we have it in the daytime, so 3 to 9.
Okay.
So you can come in for a few hours, come to network, socialize. It's more like a laid back. We're planning maybe have like a panel.
Yeah.
Or maybe a speed networking.
Right.
Tables. So we're still working on that part of it.
Okay. Hey, no problem.
At the very least, you can come in, just shake some hands and network, and then promote your business.
Absolutely. All right. Well, listen, sounds great. I hope this really comes off for you, and I do believe that something like this can be an annual event, and people can look forward to it, and it gets bigger and bigger each time. So we appreciate you dropping by and kind of letting us in on this. Once again, Mr. Tony Stidman, he is having the Share Your Vision Conference Friday. That's going to be August 11, 2023, 1 to 9 p.m., Indiana Wesleyan University. Get the tickets on Eventbrite. What should we type in when we're looking for you on Eventbrite?
You can type in Share Your Vision Conference.
Share Your Vision Conference. And then, of course, the following Saturday is kind of a relaxed mixer type deal. Maybe some light food. Well, I'm sure the lounge has some kind of thing going on there, and some adult beverages.
Yes. Okay,
there you go. You know what I was going to ask about. And so that's going to take place Saturday from 3 to 9 over at Spotlight Lounge, 4774 Broadway. Beautiful Gary, Indiana. So Gary and Maryville kind of sharing the spotlight in this conference.
Yes.
All right, my friend, good luck. Look forward to seeing you do good things in the future. Appreciate meeting you, and I wish you well.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're going to get ready to take a break. When we come back in just a little bit, we've got another guest in studio. Very interested to find out what's going on.